Alright, so today we got another video on that Dodge Dart that we was working on. I got all my tools and the part that I'm replacing, which is a front driver side control arm. It's got the ball joint assembly in with it. Today's gonna be a rainy day, so I'm gonna try to get everything on video if I can. If not, then I probably won't post this. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so first off, you want to take the lug nuts off. Before you say anything, yes, I know this one's missing a lug. Already confirmed that with the customer that they knew that. He said that he was going to get them after he gets all the work on the car done. Just a little safety tip. I like to put the wheel that I take off under the side that you have jacked up, because you'd rather crush a rim versus your leg. So sit it about like that. Next thing is you want to get you a set of E-sockets / external torch sockets. This one's going to be a EP18, and you're going to take this little bracket right here off, and then you will move to that bolt, and then that bolt right there that's on the side underneath that bracket. Alright, so I already got one out, but this is what it should look like whenever it comes out. Don't have a lot of dirt behind it. So that gives you access to this bolt right here. You're probably better off trying to get this with either a ratchet or a wrench, but we're gonna move on to this one before we get to that one, because that one's a little bit harder to get to. And you might need a wrench to hold the top nut, because, and here's a picture of the bushing before you replace this. It's completely shot. But on to the next bolt, and then the crimp for the ball joint. So in order to get this bolt out right here, I had forgot a step, that you need to remove those bolts from the front end of the car. So like right here, there are also E-sockets. So you would remove that, and then you would drop this bar down, and you'll be able to get to this bolt. And then you should be able to get to this one from this side over here with a wrench to hold the jam nut. And then you should be able to pry this thing out after you get that nut loose, because the ball joint sits in here. So I stand corrected. It is actually a 15 mil for these bolts on the frame here. And you are going to need a ratchet for the ones on the top two, but the bottom one you can get the impact into. I gotta love Dodge engineers. Like, why not put it on that side? It is what it is. Keeps me busy. Got one more. Here's what the bar should look like after you get it out. So for this bolt, you are going to need an EP20, you may need a backing wrench to hold the jam nut. So correction, instead of a wrench to hold the jam nut, there is a bracket that clips onto the frame that holds that jam nut for you. Just do not lose it. All right, so for this one, you're going to need a EP or E14 for this one. And then on the other side, I believe is a 14mm socket. So you're gonna have to have two hands, one on each side. So let's go ahead and get that out. After you get that bolt out, you're going to take a pry bar and a rubber mallet and see if you can get the control arm out. Something I always like to do once I get the part out, lay it side by side, make sure it matches up. In this case, it matches up. So we're good. But I do want to tell you, look at this. That was gone, my friend. That was gone. This one wasn't too bad, but look. That's not good. That's no bueno. See all that seepage right there? Or stuff been getting in there? It was seized on there as well. Bad. Here's an example. See, I can't even move that. That's how it should be. Versus, yeah, no. That's what that's supposed to look like. That's what it looks like. Once you get everything together, you may have to take a floor jack and get that thing all the way in, which I've already started on it, but that's how. It's either that or get a scissor jack or something like that to get it to pop right into the knuckle. But this is how I'm going to do it because it's what I got. So it should be in now. Yes, it's perfect. You can see how it lines up with the little spline right there. That's perfect. Slide the bolt into the hole, just like so. And then you're going to take and put your washer nut over here on the other side. It's hard to get the angle. I am filming with a phone, not a camera like the glasses that everybody has. Maybe someday I'll get those though. And then we're going to tighten this thing up and we'll let it back down, and then we'll put the front suspension bar back on and tighten that back up, and then it'll be good to go. Last bolt. Here's what it should look like after you get done. Make sure everything under the bottom is secure, and thing is in the knuckle, bolted up, torque down. I just gotta put the wheel on. That pretty much wraps up the video. I hope everybody has a great day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Hopefully I'll have more videos for y'all soon. Peace out.